Hey guys, today I've got some pretty interesting news to share about the Halo TV series. So this article released a couple days ago, and basically Pablo Schreiber, the actor of the Master Chief in the Halo TV series, has said a few things about the differences between the Master Chief in the series and the Master Chief in the video games. So I wanted to go over it and show you what he said, because a few things are a little interesting. Some of you guys may find them concerning, but yeah, let's scroll and see what he has to say. His bulky armor, amber helmet visor, and a myriad of 26th century weaponry, the sci-fi trooper fights an endlessly invading alien force known as the Covenant. A Hollywood version seemed inevitable, yet also inevitably difficult. The game's main character had no character at all, since the Master Chief serves as a helmeted stand-in for the player. Now, this obviously I disagree with completely, because if anyone's played like any Halo game, you know that Master Chief's got character. Of course, Bungie's original vision for the Master Chief was that he'd be like a kind of blank slate, so the player could, step into the shoes of the Master Chief. Saying that the Master Chief had no character at all is just completely wrong. But yeah, that's just Hollywood being Hollywood, I guess. Since 2018, however, there has been at least one constant attached, Pablo Schreiber, which is the actor tasked with embodying a character known to every gamer, yet one that nobody really knows. Again, they keep saying this, I don't know why they keep saying this, but I'm going to ignore it. There's this expectation because a huge portion of the audience has played the game, believing they are the Master Chief, he says. And now here I am, attempting to play it. Now, as you guys can see here, Pablo Schreiber has had quite a few notable roles. As you guys can see, he was in The Wire, Orange is the New Black, and he said he was given a lot of leeway in those roles to push the boundaries because the characters are so big and broad. But then when he's talking about the Master Chief, he said it's a very tight box, especially early in the series, trying to find the sweet spot of restraint and figure out this guy's inner life. Okay, this bit here is a little worrying. Rather than viewing the Master Chief's opaqueness as a hurdle, Halo makes the character ignorant of his past. His memory has been erased and emotions chemically suppressed. This is where I start to worry, because that means you are totally scrapping what is part of the character, which is his childhood, his teenage years going through the Spartan program. So you're throwing all of that away. I know it's a totally different timeline, but it just means the Master Chief will have no recollection of his past at all. So in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of that take. And also, the way they say emotions chemically suppressed means that they might have like a plot in the show where the UNSC constantly scrap his memory or erase his memory. I mean, that could be totally wrong, but the way they say it here, emotions chemically suppressed, means that obviously the UNSC or ONI did that to Chief. So, he's forgotten all of his past. So essentially, the question, who is the Master Chief, becomes a journey for Schreiber's character, as well as the audience across the debut season's 9 episodes, as he finds himself defying orders to protect a young girl, Kwan Ha-Bu. So again, talking about the plot, it says he finds himself defying orders to protect a young girl. Now, this plot point could be good or bad. It just depends how long they drag it out. Master Chief defying orders to protect one person, a little girl, or a girl, doesn't make the most sense. I totally understand Chief wanting to protect people and save people, but defying orders to do that, it seems like a stretch for the Master Chief. I don't know. It really depends how they execute that plot. What I don't want is the Master Chief to get sidelined in his own TV show. What I've heard is that Kwan Ha-Bu, the young girl, has a very prominent role in the series, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, if the Master Chief gets sidelined because of her, I'm going to be a bit ticked off. We'll see. Now, they do talk about the similarities between The Mandalorian and the Halo TV series, of course, because of the Master Chief and The Mandalorian, but basically they're saying that there's an overlap there, and they're saying that the success of the Mandalorian TV show bodes quite well for the Halo show, which of course makes sense, but it just means that they have to execute that the right way, and if they have the Master Chief taking off his helmet a shit ton, then that won't be too good. They do say here, the Mandalorian is always helmeted and has to remain that way. In Halo, the Spartans take their helmet off a ton. It's only Master Chief's face you haven't seen before. So I want to make sure I don't interpret this the wrong way, but it does seem like the Spartans will be taking off their helmets quite a lot, including the Master Chief, which, if I'm honest, is not a good thing. The Master Chief should be very similar to the Mandalorian, where he rarely takes off his helmet, like very rarely. But of course, they hired Pablo Schreiber, which is a good actor, so they want to utilize him. And that just means that they will be taking his helmet off. So a lot of people won't be happy with that. I think if he portrays the character well, I'll be okay with that. But it really depends. I think the first episode will tell it for all of us, if Pablo Schreiber is up to the task of portraying the Master Chief. We'll have to wait and see. As you can see here, Halo has already been greenlit for Season 2, Schreiber hopes once fans see the result, the title can quickly leave behind its rocky development history and the video game TV show label. He said there's so much opportunity for transcending being a sci-fi show, a superhero show, or a video game show, and just be legitimately great television that happens to be exploring those genres. So this is all interesting news, and it's something I haven't seen anyone really talking about, so I wanted to make a quick video just to let you guys know what was happening with the Master Chief, and of course what was going on with the Halo TV show there. Some bits are worrying in my opinion in regards to the Master Chief taking his helmet off, and of course the Master Chief having his memories wiped. Again, with this Halo TV series, it could be really fantastic and blow us all away, or it might not be so good. Look, I'm still quite excited for this TV show because obviously it's Halo, and we've not ever had a Halo TV show that's, you know, probably the same budget, same scale, and I'm just hopeful it'll be good because Halo needs a win. If this was a success, it would do so good for the franchise right now. So keep my fingers crossed, but I wanted to let you guys know what was happening with the Halo TV show, and of course let you know what's happening with the Master Chief and his direction as a whole as a character. Anyway guys, I'll leave it there. Make sure to drop a like and of course subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one.